not to forget for Aruna Quadri in the World Table Tennis Contender in Durban, South Africa. Aruna Quadri was defeated by Ukrainian. We just talked about Ukrainian, yes, Usyk, and now we are talking about another Ukrainian. The Ukrainian star defeated Aruna Quadri, Yaroslav Zumudenko in a clean sweep 3-0 in that quarter-final game right there in South Africa. It's a really sad one. Aruna Quadri is the #1 table tennis player in Africa, but he has to bow out on a very, very low note. Your take on that, Aruna Quadri?
He'll come back. He'll come back.
And that's one thing about people doing sports. You see, they always have this belief that they'll come back. But the only person I know that can't come back is Graham Potter. Graham Potter can't come back. Yes, this is an exclusive. Graham Potter can't come back. He can't come back. Let's go on to the next news that is making the round. We are still staying here at home. Rivers United and home-based national team forward Maurice Chukwu is lamenting Nigeria's absence from the CHAN, talking about the Championship of African Nation in Algeria, and expressed disappointment, especially missing the penultimate penalty to qualify the Eagles for that main competition. The competition is ongoing as we speak, but he's still feeling bad. What is your advice for players like this that they feel bad, maybe after missing a penalty that would have won them? What is your advice as a coach?
Take the pain. Take the loss, embrace it, and say to yourself, I never want to feel this way again. So you gave 100%, now find 200%.
Wow.
And train twice as hard to not only achieve that objective, but to surpass it.
Wow. So you train twice as hard to not only achieve the objective, but to surpass it. This is what my cricket coach is telling us. For all those, whatever sports that you are into, whatever sporting event, whatever sports you do, don't let the past remain with you. You can always bounce back, right?
Same with the table tennis guy. Same thing.
Yes,
you know,
you
bounce back.
Yeah. One more news before we talk about boxing, if time permits us, on this first phase of the show. Remo Stars goalkeeper Kayode Bankole said the club is ready to go one step further than last season. The Nigeria Professional Football League is back, and this particular club, they came from relegation last 2 seasons. And last season, from gaining promotion to the top division, they are now playing on the continent. And now the new season has started again, and they are saying they want to take it a step further. They couldn't win the league last season, but they qualified, they booked a continental ticket, and now this time around they are saying they want to take it a step further. What do you have to say, Ingram Jones?
You've got to plan, haven't you? You've got to have some objectives, you've got to have some goals. And you know, you didn't do as well as you'd hoped last season, so you train, you prepare to do better this season. Let's hope that they can achieve those objectives they set out. So like talking about it.
Okay, so we're talking about Remo Stars. I must confess that they are one of the best football clubs in Nigeria in terms of administration. Yeah. They have a good training pitch, they have a good stadium, they have shirt sponsor. They when they sign their players, more or less like what they do in Europe. Is what they do in Europe. They unveil that player very well. They have everything working for them.
That's an advantage, but really you can have all the facilities, and once you've got good administration.
And also it's also the club is part of one of the clubs that have a private owner taking care of the club. Yeah.
Once you've got a good team, backroom staff, and they're working well together, that bodes well for the team on the pitch. It's when you've got issues, backroom staff, disorganisation, not great facilities and all these things, that's where it starts to affect the players and the plans. So you can have, a coach can have the greatest plans in the world, but if your backroom staff are incompetent or they're disorganised, doesn't bode well. So they've got a, as you said, they've got a good backroom staff.
Yeah, good backroom staff, good administrative structure, and the rest.
It's a coach's dream, believe me.
The coach's dream. I know where you're coming from. That's how we lead us to. Let's talk cricket with the next few minutes that we have before we go on that very, very quick short break. What's the movement of cricket right now in the States and your community?
Lagos, the under-17s boys and girls are going to Ibadan. They'll be going this weekend.
What's happening now at Ibadan?
They're playing the under-17s national championships for boys and girls. So 9 players are going from Ikorodu.
Wow.
9 players from Ikorodu.
All thanks to my very good friend here, Ingram Adeyemi Anderson Jones. So 9 players are going all the way to Ibadan to compete. I wish them all the best. In fact, we're rooting for them because it's something good. This is what Sports Spectacular and what the movement of cricket is all about. Aside from that, any other news concerning cricket?
Cricket Academy is opening this weekend as well. So we'll have our first cricket academy. I'll be opening our first cricket academy in Lagos.
So we'll be having our first cricket academy. You know, we're already saying we now because it's part of what we do. Sports Spectacular, TNT Television, we go to the grassroots where you don't know all these talents and catch them young and bring them to the limelight. We'll be going for a very quick short break, and when we return, we'll talk boxing. Stay right there, we'll be right back. Welcome back from the break. You're still on to Sports Spectacular. Of course, talking sport on TV is there's no other fun that we can adjudge to this. Let's talk about boxing and a very good friend. I call him a very good friend because it's someone I love so much. That's the Gypsy King. Talking about Tyson Fury. He said, I'm coming out for you. I'm coming out for you. Tyson Fury has responded to Usyk pathetic call-out as their representatives continue negotiation over an undisputed title fight. Are you looking forward to that fight?
It's comical. It's comical. Fury is he's a comic. It's going to be a good fight, I believe. But
you know, Usyk started it first, calling him pot belly or fat belly.
Yeah. No. Fury started calling him first middleweight. Fury called him a middleweight. He's a foreigner and nobody knows who he is and who cares about him. He's just very dismissive of Alexander Usyk and his achievements, and he's just going to run straight through him. So Fury's been doing it, and usually Fury's the one throwing out insults, but he's come against a man that's a master in his own way. Usyk won't be intimidated by Fury. He's fought Joe Joyce before in the amateurs. Yeah. He won't be intimidated by Fury. He fought Anthony Joshua already as well. Yeah. So Usyk doesn't care about what Tyson Fury has to say. It's one of the few fighters that Tyson's going to come up against who's got either a similar IQ to Tyson or better IQ and is technically superb. So he doesn't care and he's unbeaten.
Who will you be putting your money on? Tyson Fury, Usyk?
I'll be putting your money on, not my money. I'll be using your money. Yeah, I'll be using your money. So it's a win-win for me. I think I'm sliding for Usyk on this one. I'm sliding with Usyk. I think that Tyson Fury's saying some things now, but I think when he gets in the ring with Usyk, and don't get me wrong, Tyson's as a student of the game, but I think he's going to come across an individual who's just as much a student, who's got better footwork, and he's not intimidated by him, unbeaten, a champion, and it isn't technically flawed like the other fighters he's fought, like Wilder, who's not technically a good fighter but a big puncher, or Dillian White, who again not technically great, had a good left hook but not technically great, or Chisora, who beat up before. He's coming against a guy now who won his undisputed cruiserweight championship world on the road, seems in other people's backyards, winning the belts to become undisputed, and he beat all the most fearsome punchers to do that. So Usyk is the man with momentum for me, and Tyson's the one who will talk. This isn't Deontay Wilder.
Okay, so Usyk is the man with momentum for him, but me, I'm going for Tyson Fury. I will tell you why later. But let's talk about Anthony Joshua versus Jermaine Franklin. Franklin talks have started, and the American heavyweight is excited about the opportunity to once again show the British boxing fan that he is the best. Do you know about him, Jermaine Franklin?
Yes, Jermaine Franklin was the guy that fought Dillian White, and actually a lot of people thought beat Dillian White. So Dillian White was lined to fight Joshua next in the summer of this year. But Dillian White didn't look good in that fight. So, and Jermaine Franklin was unbeaten, and a lot of people felt that he beat Dillian White. This is a step up from Davidson Akeem, which was the guy that Joshua had released he was going to be fighting. And the fans were not having it as a sparring partner. Who is he? So they've brought now Jermaine Franklin, but then promoter Eddie Hearn says that if Joshua loses this fight, it's the end of his career. The same gentleman that's saying they're rebuilding Anthony Joshua, who also turned around and said that Joshua was confused going into the first Usyk fight, saying that he was looking at notes before, he was going to fight Usyk, and then hitting the pads before going out to fight Usyk. So it's a bit of a comedy show, to be honest. And he's with my good friend now, Derek James, in Camden, Texas. Let's just hope that Joshua is prepared to knuckle that out and do the training, and not say, I don't want to train today. Because if he doesn't, he's got Derek James, who is the best trainer in the world.
Wow.
Three times. Best trainer, well, the last 3 years running. So if he can't knuckle down Joshua, and he hasn't shown from previous trainers have said that he's not as dedicated as he should be. If he's not as dedicated, Jermaine Franklin could cause him problems.
Okay, so what happens? Can we start rating Anthony Joshua if he knocks Jermaine Franklin in this particular?
Jermaine Franklin was brought over by Dillian White for the knockout. He struggled with Jermaine Franklin. So Jermaine Franklin's a cute fighter. He's not a big puncher, but he's slick. He slips, he rolls to the side, comes back with fast combinations. He may fancy his chances.
Okay, he may fancy his chances. We'll be going for a very quick short break, and of course, coming back to the show, we'll be talking football, the king of all sport, and we'll go into the transfer news. Stay right there, we'll be right back. Welcome back from the break. You're still on to Sports Spectacular. Of course, we're on the final lap of the show, and of course, this is the segment where we'll talk transfer and we'll talk players moving from one club to the other. But this time, I want to start from the London-based club. I know you want to think it's Chelsea, but it's Chelsea related anyway. Former Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel is open to taking on Tottenham job if Conte decides to quit Spurs. Thomas Tuchel going to Tottenham or Spurs?
Well, he might not get the same. He might not get the. He might have the same relationship with Daniel Levy, because Daniel Levy is a hard man to deal with in the transfer market. So he might end up. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. We know how he got in trouble last time at Chelsea with Cristiano Ronaldo. So maybe he can learn from that, not to get involved so much in the old transfer situation.
I don't think it's the Cristiano Ronaldo issue that got him kicked out from Chelsea, because last week or 2 weeks ago, there are other facts that brought him showing the exit door. Yes, his girlfriend taking drugs, is not concentrating on the field of play, his broken marriage and the rest. So, but this time I believe he will be very, very calm, and going to Tottenham is not a bad idea.
What about the mood swings?
The mood swing, I don't think there's anything like that for Thomas.
That's what Chelsea came out of Chelsea.
Yeah, yes, of course. But if I'm Thomas Tuchel, I'll grab it at all costs. Take the Tottenham job. Show Chelsea
What they're missing.
Yeah, what they're missing, instead of getting a learner, a baby coach in.
He was a top coach He said he was considered a top coach when he came to Chelsea.
Now Apple is not a top coach.
But he wants to know why he's no longer a top coach.
My friend, that guy is a joke. Let's go to the next news. Barcelona are keen in signing AK Gundogan on a free transfer after his contract runs out at City. One more news, Antonio Conte has asked Tottenham board to be more transparent. That's talking about Antonio Conte. Antonio Conte always knows where to put the blame. And now he's talking about the Tottenham board. And this is where Thomas Tuchel is open for. He wants to go to face that same Tottenham board that is not transparent. West Ham are keen to sign Harry Maguire on loan from Manchester United, the best defender in England, as we may have it. So, seeing West Ham going for Harry Maguire, is it a good signing? Even though it's on loan.
Depends on how they play. Depends on if they're going to have 3 at the back, or they're going to have 4 at the back, or 5 at the back, or what.
Okay, so it depends on how they're playing. Atletico Madrid are interested in signing Memphis Depay from Barcelona, and the money is just a token, a region of £5 million.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, you love Depay, and you want him to be at Arsenal.
It'd be nice.
It'll be nice.
It'd be nice.
Who will Depay bench when it comes to Arsenal? Is it Saka? Is it Martinelli?
Nketiah. Yes.
Nketiah is not a regular in Arsenal. So
Yeah. So
the regular man there is Gabriel Jesus.
But they're talking at the moment on Arsenal TV. They're saying Nketiah, Nketiah. But he missed all the chance the other day. So they're saying that maybe they need someone else. But the chances that Nketiah would miss when Depay put them away.
We hope to see how that one pans out, because he has come to the Premier League before and he flopped.
But he might be a better player now, though.
Okay, he might be a better player. Let's go to the next news that is making the round, talking about Arsenal, and we stay with Arsenal. Arsenal are on alert as Chelsea are considering moving away from Raheem Sterling. I told you before we get into the studio about Arsenal monitoring the situation of Raheem Sterling, and they're doing this in favor of wingers Christian Pulisic and Mikhailo Modric. That is, they are trying to create space for these two players. They are already seeing what Christian Pulisic can do. Is more effective on the ball, although he's injured now. And Raheem Sterling, I don't know what's wrong with him right now. I don't know whether it is the Potter magic that's not making him play very well. But do you see Raheem Sterling doing well at Arsenal?
He might well do. Who knows? I don't know.
Let's talk quickly before we call it a wrap. My producer had already given us a sign to leave the studio. Like, cut. Well, let's talk about Mikel Arteta. Still topping the table. We are hoping that he will get crashed against the almighty Newcastle. No. We're hoping he will get crashed against Tottenham, and he just blew them away, and now he's still topping the table. While Manchester City, they are losing points.
And they lost, didn't they?
They lost to Manchester United, and now they are losing points. So Mikel Arteta is still doing what he knows how to do best. And will you be surprised when he wins the league?
He would have done a good job.
You won't be surprised.
He would have done a good job.
Okay, he would have done a good job. This is how we're calling it a wrap on the show. But before we go, of course, we always talk about this very segment. Did you know? 2006, something happened in the World Cup final between France and Italy, and that caused the retirement of a certain legend called Zidane, and that headbutt. And now, did you know what transpired between Marco Materazzi and Zidane? At first, we were hearing speculations that it was Marco Materazzi insulting his mom. They say Marco Materazzi said that it was his kind of player that can play for Arsenal Football Club, and that was what got him angry. But the truth, as they disclose now, as we talk about it, Marco Materazzi says Okay, this is what happened. They were having a confrontation. After he scored that very goal, Zidane scored goal on 7 minutes. Then Masololipi told Marco Materazzi, put your eye on that guy. So Marco Materazzi scored the equalizer in 19 minutes, a powerful header. So they were having that confrontation, and he said that you are not a good player. And he said, I'm a good player. Then they settled it. Then the third clash, Zidane said to him that I will give you my jersey after the game. Then Marco Materazzi said, I would rather have your sister instead of your jersey. And that was what led to the headbutt. This is how we're calling it a wrap on the show. For those of you that are thinking what could have transpired, what would have made Zidane lost his cool in that particular game, it was this statement. I'll give you my I'm not so much that I would rather have your sister instead of your shirt. As we go, don't let the weekend weaken you. Special thanks must go to Almighty God for making this show possible, and of course Dr. Damilola Adefemi that's making everything possible here on the station, and of course the Sports Spectacular crew. Big thumbs up to you. Next week we'll do the same time, same station. Stay sporty and don't let the weekend weaken you. Bye.